Alright, today we're going to be talking about the sociality of insects. We will first define sociality in context of an insect environment. We will then look at the opportunities and challenges that are present to social insects. And lastly, we will look at unique aspects of trait evolution in social insects. So our first goal here is to define sociality in insects. What is a social insect? Well, here I'm going to discuss about what sociality is and about the social continuum. So eusociality, an insect, can be defined under three requirements. One, shared or brood or parental care. Reproductive casts, such as like one individual or a queen ant may have like the ability to lay more eggs and eat more food, while other less inferior queen ants don't get an opportunity to lay eggs as much or eat as much food. And overlapping generations. So the very first thing I want to bring up is the idea of a social continuum in insects. And this is on the scale of sociality. So the first thing is that there are non-social insects. And to leap from the scale of non-social insects to sub-social insects, requires parental care. No matter how minimal it is, parental care is a necessity. Now, to jump from sub-social insects to quasi-social insects. What you need is brood parental care, or like the sharing of parental care among adults of the insects. And from quasi-social insects, you go to semi-social insects. Let me erase this right here. And this requires reproductive casts. And then finally, you get to eusocial insect, or truly social insects. And therefore, this is the most social, where this is the least social. And we should define one more thing, parasociality. It's pretty much like if it has one or two of these traits. So it can range anywhere from subsocial to semi-social. One more idea that I want to introduce is the idea of this higher, of like how things are built on an ecological level. So for most species, you start out with organelles, which produce cells and tissue and organs. And you have an organism, which leads to a population and a community. But with social insects, there's this special thing called the superorganism, which works as one. All right. My next topic will be about eusociality in insects. This is the one with the 3 requirements that we discussed before, with the brood parental care, overlapping generations, and reproductive caste. So the first thing we want to look at is kin selection. All right? And we want to first look at diploid-diploid relationships, in which the mother and father both have 2 chromosomes. I'm going to do this in 2 different colors because that looks kind of ugly. Or let's make it 4 colors to make it easier to understand. So mother has 2 chromosomes. It's passed on to her offspring in a 50-50 relationship. So this is the offspring. It's going to have maybe like half of this. And maybe the other half is like this. And this is recombination. Oh, wrong color. All right. So what we want to notice here about the diploid-diploid relationship is that for, like, say, like, this is the mom and this is the dad and this is the children, a boy or girl. We want to note that the mother-mother relationship, or the mother-to-child relationship, is 50. So they will share 50% of the same genes. And the father-child relationship is also 50-50. And sibling-to-sibling relationship is 50-50. All right. Because YouTube only lets me go to the 10-minute limit, I am going to discuss about haploid-diploid relationship in the second part of kin selection.